Back to Just a Geek in the Garage. So it looks like Harbor Freight just dropped their ITC or Inside Track Club deals for this upcoming week. It's going to go from November 10th through the 16th, and they're calling the 7-day super deals. The ITC deals, sometimes they're great, sometimes they're just kind of, so. These ones, it looks like there's a few deals that I would definitely kind of keep in mind. First one here is actually a pretty solid one. This Icon Light, the 800 lumen for $24.99. I have seen these drop as low as $19.99, but if you guys are looking for some lights, I think this thing is a pretty solid deal at 37% off. From here, I'm not going to go through every single item, but I'll go through ones that I think are, decent deals or of note. You got this 3/8 drive SAE and metric service set from Icon. I have this set. I think it's a great set to have. It comes in the foam right here that you can remove and put it in your toolbox, and it comes with this nice blow molded case that you can take with you. It has everything that you're going to need in the 3/8 space, from shallows to deeps. Both in metric and SAE, a ratchet and extensions, adapters, things like that. So 119, pretty good deal. Sometimes you will see it in that 40% off deal, but if this is something that you guys need quickly, I think that's not a bad deal. Kind of in the same vein, they're doing the 3/8 drive, the Quinn set as well. This one is a really solid set, but at $78, $22 off. Again, not a bad deal. Definitely will see it go for cheaper than that every once in a while. These snap ring pliers I have as well. Great pliers. I would recommend them. They have a nice combination of 7-inch and 9-inch snap ring pliers in straight, 45-degree and 90-degree. So definitely a set that I would look at. Pricing wise, 31% off, not bad. Maybe when they're doing 40% off of pliers, you will want to do that instead. And these at one point I think were down to like $30, and if you can get it for that price, I definitely say go for it. This right here I think is going to be kind of the killer deal that they have for this particular sale, and I have a feeling these things are going to sell out super quickly. If you guys saw anything from SEMA coming up here, they're actually going to be releasing these in green as well. I think it's going to be just this in the pick set to start. They're going to be testing it out, and then eventually hopefully they'll have a whole line of different colors for us, which would be awesome, and definitely I think a bit devastating to the Snap-on guys, which myself included, because I love having green, so I'd probably definitely rebuy everything in green if I can. But this one, if you want it, I'm sure that thing's going to sell out pretty quickly. Moving on down, I got a few things here, some tarps, got a bandsaw, pressure washer. They have the jack. Again, I'm just going to kind of go through these a little quickly just so you guys can see. So this is not a 15-20 minute video. And like I said, I'll kind of stop when I see something that I believe is worth talking about. And here's one thing right here. So actually, I just bought this guy right here. I bought it back when they had a 25% off deal, so it was a little bit cheaper, not by much. I think it was like $280 instead of $299. But this thing is awesome. I have it in a truck to run a gutter machine of all things, and this thing is a workhorse. Has done very well. I have not had one hiccup with it. Very powerful. It is quite large, but for what you're getting, I definitely think it's a good deal. So if you guys are looking for some power in your vehicles, I definitely would look at something like this. Moving down here, so these are actually the wrenches they were just giving away for free this weekend. But for $5.99, if you guys really need a set of very basic wrenches, it's not a bad deal. And these ones come in both SAE and metric. Moving down, again, some kind of more basic deals here. And let's see what else we got going on. This Quinn set, 20% off is not bad. $19.99. I have a bunch of these different sets, that I bought for the business, and they work very well. They do exactly what they're supposed to do. But for me, I'm kind of one of those, when I see 20% off, I'm not that excited when it comes to Harbor Freight type tools. So let's continue on and see what we got. These guys right here, the Icon, looks like they have a lot of Icon on this ITC set. Again, pretty decent deal once we hit above that 30% mark. Let's move on down a bit, and let's see what else we have here. Again, these things right here, are pretty awesome. Again, 20% off is, sometimes you can get it for a little bit better deal, but I think these things are great. So if you have, if you're using like a miter saw, or if you have a table saw that you need to run out on, or for me, I use this for the gutter machines as well, and save us a lot of money by going through with something like this. Honestly, can't go wrong with their dead blow hammers. Those things take quite a bit of abuse and continue working and working for you. And then this Quinn precision screwdriver set just came out, in the last, couple months. And I really, really like the set. Comes with this case that you see right here. Also comes with a little plastic tray if you want to put it directly in your toolbox. And at 33% off is a pretty solid deal. Definitely was a little bit cheaper when you did the 40% off screwdrivers, but hey, if you don't want to wait another year for a sale like that, I think right now might be a good time to pick it up. So let's continue on here. Actually, was in Harbor Freight today. I noticed these guys. These are pretty interesting to have as far as a bolstered set. I don't see a lot of people with these, but it's a great set if you need to be able to put a wrench on your screwdrivers and give it just that little bit of extra force. Let's continue on here and see what else we got. Let's see, jack stands, these chisels, toolboxes. And then give me a sec here. What else do we have going on? All right, let's move on to the next page. Nothing that I think is that noteworthy on those pages. And, obviously this is kind of a precursor to their Black Friday sale that I just launched or put the ad out a few days ago. I think it was yesterday that I put the ad out. So, definitely give that a check out, because I think some of the deals on there are going to be a little bit better than what you're seeing here. But so far, like I said, the only one that has really caught my eye so far is going to be that screwdriver set from Icon for $22. I don't think you're going to be able to beat that. I do have those screwdrivers, and they are very, I'd say they're professional quality. Are they, 100% similar to the Snap-on? Definitely not. But, you are definitely getting a high quality set for significantly cheaper than you would. And honestly, it's approaching the price of, a basic Quinn set of screwdrivers. And actually cheaper than that. And you're getting the actual Icon brand, which is kind of cool. Moving on. Again, I'm just kind of going through these guys quickly just so you guys can see what they have. And again, nothing too crazy here on these last couple pages. So it really looks like they put their best deals on that first page. It depends on what you guys are looking for. Obviously, each person's looking for something different. But what I would say is, all these deals you probably don't have to rush out and get, especially if you're an ITC member. But if you do want those screwdrivers, you might need to get in there by tomorrow, basically. So let's just kind of go back here to the first page, and let's see what happened here. Oh, there we go at the very top. So again, the deals I'm saying are going to be pretty solid for this time around. The Icon, pretty much all three Icon deals. So we got the general service set, we got the flashlight, and then we got the screwdriver. Let's just click on this here while I got you here. And like I said, these things are great. They come in a very nice tray. The tray is very similar to something that you would get from Snap-on. They're marked on the bottom right here. They have a magnetic tip along with the kind of this anti-cam out tip right here that works really, really well. And yeah, just showing you kind of the magnets right there, and then what it looks like in the tray. So, tell me, what do you guys think? Are any of these deals enough to get you over to Harbor Freight in the next week or so, or are you gonna just kind of hold off until their Black Friday deals a little bit later this month? So as always, thank you guys for watching. Please like and subscribe.